Alright, Shalom, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations unto the Akim, the brothers pushing this truth through the four corners of the earth in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect, every scattered among the heathen, who be like unto the speckled bird, I say Shalom, and I say Shalom unto the few but faithful Aqua, the few sisters listening and learning. This is your brother Jerusalem from the GMS Prophetic Vibrations Camp, coming at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakodash. This video is going to be entitled Herod was an Edomite. Alright, and this is in response to the video Apostle Taha put up there, speaking about one body in Yahushai, who been pushing their lies, and they vomit, saying that Herod was an Israelite. Alright. So this is a short video to debunk that, using the scriptures and the history books. Alright, so this is Matthew 2 and verse 1. It says, Now, when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. Alright, so then back then, the prophecy was that Yahushua was supposed to come as king, and free Israel. Alright, and of course Herod, being the Edomite he was, alright, didn't want that to happen, thinking that, the Lord was coming to take his carnal kingdom away from him. Alright? And it's the same thing happening today. Alright? These Edomites, Herod is back here again in the reincarnation. Alright? Which will be one of the elites of Esau. Alright? And they're looking to stop the Lord from coming back. Alright? And from saving his people. Alright, so let's go into this word Herod, this name in the blue letter. Here we go.
Strong's G 2264. Herodes.
Yeah, Herodes. Yeah, Herod means heroic. The name of a royal family that flourished among the Jews in the times of Hamashiach Yahushai and the apostles. Herod the Great was the son of Antipater of Idumea, which Idumea is a Greek way of saying Esau Edom. Alright? Appointed king of Judea in BC 40, by the Roman Senate at the suggestion of Antony, and with the consent of Octavian Caesar, he at length overcame the great opposition which the country made to him and took possession of the kingdom in 37 BC, after the Battle of Actium. He was confirmed by Octavian, whose favor he ever enjoyed, who was also an Edomite, of the Roman Empire. Alright? He was brave and skilled in war. Right? He had the gift of his ancestor Esau, the blessing of his sword. Alright? Learned and sagacious, but also extremely suspicious and cruel. Hence he destroyed the entire royal family of the Hasmoneans, put to death many of the Jews that opposed his government, and proceeded to kill even his dearly beloved wife Miriam of the Hasmonean line, who was an Israelite, right? Which he married into the Hasmonean line, thinking that he would be part of the bloodline, where the bloodline doesn't go through the woman. Alright? And his two sons she had borne him. Alright? So this one was definitely an Edomite. Now let's go into the book, Who is Esau Edom? Alright? Chapter 1, The Legacy of Esau Edom. To help answer the question of who is Esau Edom, the first necessary step is to examine the racial and genealogical history of Esau and his descendants. Alright? So we all know the history of Esau Edom. I'll just read the first paragraph. It said Esau was the firstborn of Isaac, and thus was heir to the birthright derived from the direct racial lineage of Adam to Noah to Abraham. Thus Esau was racially an Adamite, a Semite, and a Hebrew, the racial stock of the white race. So you see. Now jumping down here, it says the Edomites also possess some Israelite blood by intermarriages, as in the case of Solomon, which is the reason why these devils do DNA tests, but for the maternal DNA, alright, because they intermarried with Israelite women. However, the paternal DNA is not there. Israelite, the E1, B1A, the Y chromosome isn't there. Alright? And which we know the nation, comes from your father. Your nation, whichever nation you are, comes from your father. You inherit that from your father. not your mother. Alright? So Esau and the Edomites dwelt in Mount Seir, which is Genesis 36 and 8, which the Most High gave to Esau for possession, Deuteronomy 2 and 5, Joshua 24 and 4. This land was also known as Idumea, right? Okay, and you can get that in Isaiah 34 and 6, which these devils put in there, alright? But what Greek has no right being in the Old Testament, alright? So let's read this over here. It says, Herod the Great was the son of Antipater of Idumea, alright? Scriptures don't lie, alright? You know, it said the land of Edom, Mount Seir, lies south of the Dead Sea, stretching south to its seaports of Elat, and including the ravine known as Petra. So here you can see the land of Judah, Edom being to the south, this is southeast of Judah, right next to Moab, you know, and Ammon. Alright, this was the kingdom of David, which David ruled over the Edomites in his day. Alright, so let's read from here. It says the Nabateans now occupying Mount Seir, because Edomites were driven from Petra westward, right, and they occupied some of the lands of Judah. If you read that in the first paragraph, the Nabateans were Ishmaelites, right? They now occupied Mount Seir, which was the ancient home of the Edomites, and the Edomites were driven into the old territory of Judah. The Maccabean family, a remnant of the true Judahites, I said true Judahites because the Herodians were false, alright? Those are Jewish, that suffix, meaning to be like, meaning to be in terms of to be like, and not the actual Jews, but Jewish, alright? Pertaining to, had ruled Judea from 166 to 37 BC, and under Judas Maccabee, 1 Maccabees 5 and 3, recaptured the city of Hebron from the Edomites in 164 BC. During the time of John Hyrcanus, 135 to 105 BC, the nephew of Judas, the Judahites, were again faced with the hostility of the Idumeans. So there's always had confusion between us. This is why he wanted they had a hatred of course, they being Edomites for us as being Israelites. Alright? So Hyrcanus confronted the Edomites, causing a decisive change in the relations between the two factions. Now listen to this decisive change. This is the reason why Herod was ruling over the Israelites. Based on this decisive change, right? John Hyrcanus conquered the whole of Edom and undertook the forced conversion of its inhabitants to Judaism. Right? They get that in Josephus and 13:9 and 1. Right? Thenceforth, the Edomites became a section of the Jew people, which is they became the Jew, known as the Jewish people. All right, because they were forced to convert. John Hyrcanus conquered them, all right, and he forced converted them. All right. Now let's read down a bit here. It says, thus at this juncture of time, the Edomites were then incorporated with the Jewish nation, with the Israelite nation, and their country was called by the Greeks and Romans Idumea. Right? But the tide turned in favor of the Edomite faction when Julius Caesar made Antipater an Edomite, which is what we saw here. Right? He was his son. Herod was the Great was his son of Antipater of Idumea, which means he was an Edomite. Alright? When Julius Caesar made Antipater an Edomite procurator of Judea in 47 BC. Alright? So he got his strength off of the Roman Empire. When Antipater was killed 4 years later, his son Herod gained power, but was rejected by the Judahites. Herod shrewdly gained the support of Rome. With a Roman army at his heels, he returned to Palestine, and after a 6-month siege, he captured Jerusalem and became king of Judea in 37 BC. So this is how this devil became the king of Judea, who was an Edomite, right? So, you know, I mean, I made my point, you know. So basically, you can see clearly here that this man, Herod, you know, is definitely not an Israelite. He's an Edomite, you know, and one body in Hawashai, you know, is wallowing in the vomit. Alright, so with that, I pray this lesson was edifying, and I give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Wa'abad Babal, Shalom.